It was a cold and dark day in London in December 2001. I came out of sedation, and the first words I heard from my doctor were, "I'm sorry, you have cancer." Those 3 words changed my life completely. Normalcy was redefined forever. What I want to share with you in this little clip is what I have learnt about myself in the 14 years hence, and how I believe those lessons might be relevant not only to myself, not only to other people facing cancer, but also to leaders who are running large or small but challenging businesses. That's what I hope to do for you in this video. Cancer really turned my life upside down. It was a very difficult, very traumatic, and very stressful experience. And yet, when I look back, I don't think I can say honestly that I overcame my cancer. In fact, I like to say that my cancer healed me. That my cancer made me a far better person today than I was before my cancer. The reason why I say that is because I was able to turn the trauma of cancer into a growth opportunity for myself. And I believe that is an important lesson that many people can learn, whether they are dealing with a serious illness like cancer, or they are dealing with another major turbulent life event like maybe divorce, or whether they are dealing with a professional setback. So based on that, the very first kind of subject that I would like to talk about is leadership lessons from cancer. As I went through my own experience and as I reinvented myself and became a leadership coach, I began to see that there are many parallels and many similarities between my cancer journey and the leadership journey. Let me give you a very simple example. Cancer pulled the rug from under my feet. It put me into a very deep, very dark, very vulnerable place. But it was a place in which I not only had to confront my mortality, but I had to confront myself at every level. I had to look at myself physically, mentally, emotionally, systemically, and spiritually. Now, as leaders, how well do you take to crisis? How well do you deal with adversity? Do you step away from adversity? Do you take it head on? Do you use adversity to learn about yourself? And can you turn adversity into a growth opportunity for yourself, for your team, and for your organization? That is what my first session is about. Cancer lessons for leaders. One of the important things in turning adversity into a growth opportunity is the willingness to deconstruct and reconstruct yourself at a fundamental level. Which means that you as a leader will have to learn and accept that there are some things about yourself that you must let go. And there are some new things about yourself that you have to discover. And in doing so, you will cultivate the resilience that is very important for dealing with change and with crisis. That is the subject of my first session, Cancer Lessons for Leaders. My second session is about executive presence. And if you consider that the environment around you for every leader is changing rapidly, is turbulent, the change may be because of competition, the change may be because of technology, the change may be because of regulations, The change may be because of internal issues. The question is, when you're facing that kind of turbulence and change, what is your anchor? What is your refuge? What is your oasis? For some leaders, their refuge is the golf course. For other leaders, their oasis is the bar. But I believe that for the most effective leaders, their refuge, their oasis, their anchor is a spot deep within themselves. It's that spot which we call presence. Now, if you learn how to access that spot and you learn how to bring that presence with you to your external world, then suddenly you will find that you will deal with the external world quite differently. This, by the way, is a very unusual and unconventional approach to leadership. Traditional leadership is very behavioral. It teaches you new behaviors that you have to cultivate. But I believe that the most effective leaders don't start with behaviors. They start with cultivating an internal state, that state of presence. What is important to recognize about the state of presence is that it can be accessed, it can be cultivated, and it is always available to all of us. For example, if you're in a situation where you have a difficult meeting, let's say with your shareholders, then what is going to be your internal state? Are you going to go into that meeting troubled? Or are you going to go into that meeting cool and calm and confident? If you have to become cool and calm and confident, you're going to have to learn how to access that state of presence and manage that internal critical talk that all leaders have within themselves. I hope to be able to share some of my insights and also help you to learn how to access that internal state of presence. My third subject is called the heroic journey. All leaders know that leadership is a journey and that leadership is a heroic journey. It's a journey not just from a startup to a well-established organization, that may be the external journey, but perhaps the more important is the internal journey, the journey from innocence and immaturity to masterful maturity and individuation. Now, while this journey is very personal, interestingly, it's also very universal. And the various stages in this journey have been precisely and beautifully mapped out. So in my session, I will be sharing with you this map of the heroic journey. And you will be able to see for yourself where you are located in that heroic journey. Typically, the hero has to be plucked out of obscurity, tossed into a dark and dangerous world where he has to meet with unexpected allies and unexpected adversaries. And ultimately, he has to confront the deepest and darkest and most hostile parts of himself, which is called the shadow. Now, in working with the shadow lies the hero's greatest opportunity to really find something that will transform him and transform the people around him. I want to end this video clip by sharing with you a motto of mine. The motto is simply this: deep self-awareness leads to awareness of the deeper self. I'll repeat that. Deep self-awareness leads to awareness of the deeper self. And when you align with that deeper self, that's when miracles will happen. I hope and wish and pray that many miracles will happen for you. All good wishes for the future. Thank you.